Welcome to The Homemade Mother. My name is Jasmine, and this is my channel. Welcome back, everybody. This week we are doing some Valentine's Day treats that are so easy to make and so delicious. What are we doing? Today we're going to be making homemade peanut butter cups. Now, I know what you're thinking, peanut butter, what? Well, it's so easy, and what I love the most about it is it's completely dairy-free. Unlike a lot of the recipes I have seen out there, this one contains no dairy. So let's start off with what you'll need. First of all, you're going to need a silicone mold. I have this heart-shaped silicone mold that I absolutely love. I just love the way that the dessert comes out at the end. Now, this is actually a pretty big mold, but I like it because in the end you only end up eating one as opposed to having a bunch of little ones and overeating. You will also need dark chocolate melts. I get mine from Bulk Barn. I get the extra dark Belgian chocolate melts. Those are my favorite, and they have absolutely no milk in them, so always a plus. You'll also need peanut butter, coconut flour, coconut oil, and some icing sugar. That's it. Those are the only ingredients you need. So the first thing you need to do is melt your chocolate. I melt my chocolate in a double boiler. I like it better because I can actually control it as opposed to in a microwave where you can easily overcook your chocolate and end up ruining it. So I do it over a double boiler. Basically what a double boiler is a pot that has water on the bottom, and then all you do is take a bowl that will fit nicely on top without falling into the pot so that it gets warmed by the steam, but it doesn't get burned by the heat. It's the perfect way to melt chocolate, and that's how I melted mine. So I melted about a half a cup of the Belgian chocolate melts. Once the chocolate was totally melted, I took it off of the stove and I placed it on the counter, and I started adding in about another quarter cup of melts, a little bit at a time, mixing it in to cool the chocolate down at a nice temperature. So once you've done that, what you'll need is your silicone mold. The reason I suggest silicone is because it's the easiest and safest way to get your dessert out without totally destroying it at the end. What we're going to do from here is we're going to line our silicone molds with chocolate. Adding a little bit at a time, you're going to add some chocolate into your mold. I suggest adding a little bit at a time because you don't want to add too much. If you add too little, you can always add more. What I'm gonna do is you can take a spoon. I have this little ball tip that I like using, and you're going to go into your mold and basically cover the entire thing in chocolate, including the edges. So you're just going to gently brush up the chocolate onto the sides so that it's completely covered. And if it feels like there just isn't quite enough chocolate, like I said, you can always add just a little bit more. Once you've totally covered your mold, what you're gonna do is throw it into the freezer to let it chill. We're gonna pop this into the freezer for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna show you what you can do while you're waiting. All right, while you're waiting for your chocolate to cool, you can make your filling. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take half a cup of peanut butter, add our 4th cup of coconut flour. Now we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. Then we're gonna add a tablespoon of coconut oil. So our filling is all mixed up. Now we're gonna go check on those molds. So our chocolate has now solidified. We're going to add another thin layer of chocolate, but what we're gonna try to do is add it just on the edges, not on the bottom, because the bottom already has a decent amount of chocolate on it, but the edges are a little bit on the thin side. I like to do this part one by one just because it's really hard to maneuver the chocolate if there's chocolate in every single mold. We got our second layer on. What we're gonna do is throw them in the freezer. We'll put the filling in. Our chocolate is all cool, so now we're going to add our filling into it. I have filled them with our filling, and so now what I'm going to do is throw them back into the freezer so the filling can cool before I put the final layer of chocolate on top. So our filling has been cooling for about an hour. Now I'm going to put the final layer on. So we have our chocolate coating and our filling and our final chocolate layer. Now we're gonna throw these into the freezer and let them cool for about 2 hours before we touch them. We'll be back. All right, our peanut butter cups have been in the freezer for about 2 hours now, maybe just a little bit over, and they are nice and solid. So I'm just gonna pull them out and see how they look. Well, they came out perfectly. Like I said, this is a super easy and delicious way to celebrate Valentine's Day. Definitely a favorite in our house. I hope to see you back next time. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe to my channel. I can't wait to do some more homemade projects with you. Have a great week. Ta-ta for now.